welcome to Art and Soul with Heather. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, thank you so much. I always appreciate you guys coming back to check out my channel. Today's video is going to just be a little mini crash course on doing Dutch pours. I remember when I saw my first Dutch pour video, I was so intrigued, and you probably are too, just based on tuning in to see what this video is all about, from assuming having you watched a Dutch pour. But anyway, so I was so intrigued, I was sucked in, and I was watching all these little time-lapse videos of people doing Dutch pours, which is so neat because you see different ideas and colors and compositions and stuff. But no one was really explaining a lot of things. I found myself going to like 100 different videos, trying to collect as much information as I can, see who's consistent, who's vastly contradicting or different in the information, see if it matters what they say versus what they said, etc., etc. And I thought, you know what? I need to make a video to where I hope I can eliminate a lot of that confusion and just bring to the table a lot more understanding and answer any questions you guys may have, so that you'll feel more comfortable doing a Dutch pour if you haven't done one already. I'll also tell you I was very humbled because I don't know why I thought to myself, I could do this, it's so super easy. It's, you guys, when someone has done something for so long, it always looks easier. It's not always the case when you try it for your first time, unless you just have that thing about you or whatever you do is perfect all the time. Not many of us out there, but I'm not saying there isn't. So for me, yeah, I was pretty silly to think that I could just do it with no problem. So I was quite humbled, and I think that was a very big blessing because it kind of brought me back down to earth and just helped me really focus on what I need to do and things that I do need, things that I don't need, things where areas I need to improve, and areas where I'm really getting better at. So yeah, I actually had this video posted before a few days ago, a day or so ago. I took it down because I found myself overly distracted because my son is home. He's in his room right now playing, so hopefully he will be in there for the duration of this video. So, and I also found myself not being very, because I was distracted, I don't think I was being very clear on some things. So this is take 2 on the video. So wish me luck that this is the one that goes back up and gets posted officially. So, oh my goodness. All right, that was a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start from this side over here, just work my way around the table and tell you a little bit about each thing and tell you if you need it or don't need it to do a Dutch pour. So starting with the water here, just take note that it is distilled. Distilled water does not have any minerals in it because unfortunately bottled water, filtered water from your fridge, or even tap water, they all contain minerals, and those minerals can compromise your paints. And to what degree, I don't know. I never did that research, but that was something that was very consistent in all the research that I have done, along with all the experienced artists out there that just say, it's not worth the risk. So, you know, lucky for us, distilled water is very inexpensive. It's very readily available at pretty much any grocery store. So do you need it? Absolutely, you do need it because it is the main component to get the paint to the consistency you need to do a Dutch pour. So yes, you do need water. Okay. Oh, and if you thought I forgot about the paints over here, I'm just gonna do those at the very end and show you the colors and talk more about the paints, the differences between craft paints and artist grade, etc., etc., etc. But right now I'm just going to do, because those are obvious, I mean, you need paint. But I just want to kind of move along with everything else here because this could be overwhelming looking at all this stuff, you guys. So anyway, okay. Next here is GAC or GAC 800, GAC 800. It is by Golden Artist Colors. It is an artist grade pouring medium. It's an paint extender, an anti-crazing agent, and it really provides a nice glossy finish to your canvas. I'll provide a link in the description of an actual Golden representative using or demonstrating this product so you have more information should I not provide enough for you in this video. Do you need this? No, thank goodness, because it is so expensive, you guys. Some of these things up here you'll find yourself are dirt cheap, like the distilled water, and other things you're just like, who spends money on things like that? So, but the more and more you get into paint pouring or fluid art, you'll realize the benefit of these things no matter the price tag. So yes, thank goodness you don't need it. They are available at most artist supply stores. However, I found the best deal on Amazon. He's dumping his tracks out. He's Thomas the Tank Tracks. Anyway, so some things, I got the best deal on Amazon. Some things on Amazon are going to be like stupid expensive, and other things are going to be a smoking deal. This happened to be a smoking deal. I don't know why, but so yeah, I got that. So you know you do not need it. Okay, so next here is floetrol. I say floetrol. You might have heard other people say floetrol, tomato. I don't really think there's a right or wrong way, but it's technically not a pouring medium. Really what it's used for is to put into like those spray guns when you paint the walls and stuff. And it's a paint conditioner, so it basically eliminates any like paint roller marks or brush stroke marks or whatever. So it's self-leveling. It basically assists with the movement of your paint. It has a slower drying time, so there's more working time for you. It does tend to dry with a matte finish or kind of dulls your colors out a little bit. Hence a very good reason to get something like the GAC 800 or any other type of gloss medium to put into your mixture. This provides a lot of those cell features and details in the Dutch pours that you see that kind of make it pop and look so unique. But do you need this? No. If you want to get your hands on some, lucky for you, it is super cheap and you can find it like at, you know, any hardware store like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace or something, and it's really reasonably priced, like I said. And if you have like a government official government ID, like we do because we're military, you get an extra 10% off. So you guys, discounts help. So anything you find up here too that you don't find on Amazon, or what can't you find on Amazon? But anything you find up here that you're already at Lowe's or Home Depot for, and you have an ID of some sort of place of employment that provides that they will honor a 10% discount, take advantage. However, if you do get some for yourself, just make sure you get the latex-based variety. And if you are outside of the US, just be aware that United States floetrol and an overseas type floetrol is different. So just compare the ingredients. It does need to be strained. It tends to get a lot of lumps in it, and you just don't want that crud pouring into your paint mixture. So they also have a strainer cap, which I have that's already attached on here, that is fitted just for the floetrol jugs. So it's super convenient, and it's just nice so you don't have to go looking for a cheesecloth or a nylon, or so you don't have to go in your kitchen and use your own little mini food strainer, which by the way, if you do, I don't suggest you putting it back in the kitchen. So yeah, so that's something you can also take advantage of, and I will also provide a link in the description where to get the floetrol cap. So yeah, do you need this? No, it's just very nice to have, and you will see that if you have seen, you'll know that there's plenty of artists out there that use just paint and water just to set the tone, send the message that you don't need a whole lot to do Dutch pours. But this is just a nice additive to put into your paint mixture to, you know, make a few little extra details in there. So yeah, not needed, but nice to have. Okay. Moving on to here is it's Liquitex High Gloss Varnish for external use. This is another artist grade product, and that is not cheap, you guys. This little 8-ounce bottle is like $18. So, whew, yeah. So if you are like a frequent shopper at Hobby Lobby like I am, then take advantage of their 40% off one regular priced item, because that will really, really help with your savings. Those hefty coupons really make these things affordable. But I will tell you, if you are viewing this video before February 28th of this year, 2021, they will be phasing that coupon out at that time. So if you have the money now and you're in the mood and you want some really nice, high quality gloss varnish, go get you one and go get you some of this and take advantage of that coupon. But this just really brings the colors back to the canvas. It really makes them pop and just vibrant. Because unfortunately, if you do use the floetrol, like I said, into your paint mixture, it tends to dry it with a matte finish. So this really does bring it out. So do you need it? No. Nice to have? Of course. Okay, there's that. Okay, so the scale here, now that I talked about paints and additives going into your overall mixture, for me, I like to measure everything and weigh it out because everything does have a different consistency and weight by volume, all that type of stuff. So yes, I can eyeball my paint mixtures. I've gone to the point where I can eyeball to get the consistency that I need, but it doesn't really help me at this point, you know, how much did I use to get to that consistency? So especially because I've been commissioned before, and I want to be able to appropriately charge, you know, the person. I don't want to just guess and see, well, I think I used 4 ounces. So if I divide how many ounces is in the bottle, divide by 4 ounces, you know what I mean? So I don't want to guesstimate. I really want to know exactly. So for this stage in my pouring experience or career or whatever, I want to make sure I'm appropriately charging and I'm getting a better idea of what 4 ounces, for example, looks like, so that I can eyeball that as I go down in my experimental experimental, but you know what I mean, just as long as I'm continuing my practice in fluid art, this is going to help me not only to not be wasteful, B, appropriately charge, and C, you know, kind of like just log everything so I can kind of see what I'm using more of or not using so much of. So, okay, this is not necessary. You do not need the scale. Again, I think I blabbered on enough about why I like it and why it's a good idea, so I'll leave that to you, but no, it is not necessary. Okay, now, so onto the painter's tape right here. I like to just apply a little trim of tape along the back side of the canvas. It's not necessary. I just think it tends to make the canvas look a little cleaner. It's personal preference. I don't do it all the time, especially if I'm just practicing on a canvas and I'm not gifting or selling it, then I don't need this. And you don't even need this if you are gifting or selling. It is not a requirement. It just looks a little better should you gift or sell your canvas to somebody. Not that I don't think people are going to be like, that was, you know, how cheap of them. They didn't, you know, finish or touch or, you know, put any touches on the back by cleaning up some. I don't think anybody is going to say that. The whole point is somebody made the painting and that's what matters. So if you have anybody inspecting the back, I don't know, I'm not going to go on about that. Actually, so do you need the tape? No. I'm going to keep the canvas here. I'm getting ahead of myself. But the canvas, actually, do you need a canvas? You do not need a canvas. You do need something to pour your paints on though, so you do have a few choices. You can use a canvas. Clearly I have one here, but you can also use, excuse me, cradled wood panels. You can use tile. You can use really any flat surface you can get your hands on that you want to do this type of pouring, paint pouring project on. Okay, I hope that's the end of the coughing there. Just a little tickle in my throat. Anyway, so, but if you do choose to do your Dutch pour on like a wood surface, cradle panel, just a regular piece of like, you know, poplar or something, whatever you have out in the garage, it is very highly suggested that you do apply gesso to it though, because wood is extremely porous, and since paint is obviously wet and wood is porous, it's just gonna, the wood is just gonna drink up the paint and just make the wood swell. And it's just gonna just turn your painting into a disaster. And nobody wants that, especially if you're selling it and it's all warped. Not good. So you will have to apply several layers of gesso, and that's a whole other process to applying the gesso, which I'll have a separate video to do. So just keep in mind, if you're already, but don't let that stop you, because if you're already putting the effort into making a painting that's going to be beautiful, made by you, then just put the effort into, you know, keeping it safe and protecting it. Don't look about all the steps into doing a project and, you know, letting that kill your whole idea and motivation to do paintings. This is, all these steps are very good. These are learning processes. These are things that expand your experience and just overall knowledge of doing this. So yeah, that is one thing though that you would have to do. I recommend that you do, if you do use wood of any sorts, is to apply gesso to it. The canvas, tile, I don't think so, obviously, because that's, you know, people have tile in the showers and stuff, so grout would be one thing, but tile is another thing. So yeah, convenience wise, you know, you don't have to apply anything to a tile. But canvas here, this is already pre-primed with some sort of gesso or primer on it, which is why it's white. But it still has like this, you can hear it scratchy. It still has this texture to it, like this very cottony, linen type of texture. So if you don't like that, you can still apply more gesso on it and it will eliminate that texture feel to it. So it will also considerably brighten up your canvas. Because if you already think this is really white, you'll be surprised just on how many layers of gesso you apply will really like make it pop. So yeah. So yes, do you need a canvas? No, just pick whichever you do need. Like I said, you do need a surface to pour your paints on. So just take your pick. Okay, so that is that. Moving along. Okay, here is, I don't know, I have both of them out, but it's just different brands. Here is silicone oil, and this is what a lot of people use to get cell effects into in their painting. And however, you don't need silicone oil for Dutch pours. This is not really used a lot for Dutch pours. This is really used for stuff like flip cup dirty pours, funnel pouring, open cup pours, things like that. That really brings out a lot of nice cells for those, especially you want to get them stretched out and stuff. They make the big cells. So yeah, you don't need silicone oil. These are just, like I said, great for other little projects. But considering the brands and sizes, you know, you're going to find different costs. So again, research. But I will tell you though, when you do, if you do decide to use, I mean, because there's nothing stopping you. If you do want to use the silicone oil in your Dutch pours, there's no rule book. By all means, there's nothing stopping you. Do what you want to do. This is your painting. But you just need drops of it. You guys, I was so, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. And I mentioned it in the video that I took down. I was doing a painting of Moses splitting the sea, and I was trying to do all kinds of things into one, like a Dutch pour combined. I don't even know what else. Oh my goodness, it was so off the wall crazy. But I was just like, you know, squeezing the silicone oil in there, just whatever. It was more funny than anything. And surprisingly, the painting came out really, really cool. It's actually one of my paintings that has the most hits in it. But anyway, so yeah, just be real conservative. You do not need a lot of this stuff. A lot goes a long way. So if you think, oh, I got this little bitty bottle, you will find yourself, you don't need to get another one of these for a long time, unless that's all you do day after day is like dirty, you know, flip cup dirty pours or things like that. So again, don't need it. Okay. Oh, I wonder how much time I have left before he comes out wanting to show me his train tracks. Okay. So next here is my little culinary torch and a little canister of butane. Wherever you get this, Bed Bath & Beyond, Amazon, whatnot, is not going to come with the butane in it. So you do need to buy this separately. This is something, if you've never got a torch, handled a torch before, I suggest that you just get your hands on it, get familiar and comfortable with it, because, you know, there's nothing complicated about it, but it is an open flame, you know what I mean? So when you do turn it on, you know, anyway, you saw it. So there's nothing complicated about it, but some people have different levels of fear. So just get comfortable with it. It is used to pop any bubbles in your painting, which can cause a defected look to it or just an uneven surface about it. So it is not a blow dryer. Don't go in and just like hold it right over the paint or just, you know, no, it is merely to pop bubbles, and you just do quick passes over it for that reason only. So yeah, do you need it? Oh man, you want to be technical? No, but it's really nice to have. But real quick, one thing I forgot to mention on these canvases, guys, a lot of these can be warped. So this is a little level 2 Artist Loft canvas I got from Michael's. But you guys, if your canvas is not completely level, your project that you thought turned out so beautiful can turn out a complete mess by the time it dries if it's not level. So my suggestion is to, when you're at the store, if you can, take the canvas down, put it on the floor, bring your leveler with you to the store and check it out. Because if it is warped, you just have a defective canvas and you're asking for, you know, a project to go wrong. And, you know, that's expensive, guys. Time, effort, and product, you know, it's not worth wasting any of that stuff. So, but if you already went and got yourself a canvas and you just thought about that now and you still have the receipt and you go level it out and check it out and see that it's not level, take it back. You guys, don't risk yourself to be or don't set yourself up for disappointment, okay? Now, if it comes like in a pack of 5 or something like these did, and you don't really have that chance, then, you know, I would just consider these to be more for practice, which I use them for. Now, the deep panel canvases typically come in by, you know, you can get them, you can buy them per single purchase, and those are easier to see. But anyway, again, just another suggestion to do when you are pouring or buying canvases for your pours. Okay, now these are cake knives, pie knife, whatever it is, you know, kitchen tools. And you will see a lot of artists that don't use blow dryers spread the paint out with these. So do you need it? I guess it really depends on how you think you're gonna blow or spread the paint. So one or the other, for sure. I definitely recommend a blow dryer, which we'll get to soon, but this is just really trying, you know, just so you can just kind of spread your paints out, you know, and I guess not use a blow dryer as much. However, I think that, and if you do have these in your kitchen already and want to use it for your pours, then I just suggest that you designate it one for the other. You either leave it in the kitchen or you bring it in here and you leave it in your art supplies. This little palette painting knife type thing here, I like to have because sometimes they're cool just to incorporate the swiping techniques into your art. Or if you're just not comfortable touching the paint, like that gives you the willies. I mean, obviously wear gloves, but you can just kind of, you know, pick it out or something like that and then, you know, be good to go. So really, yeah, you don't need these, but I think really what you're gonna be more comfortable with as far as like moving the paint around or not touching the paint type thing, that's that. And if you hear a little pitter patter, that is my little puppy up, trying to find something to do. And yes, puppy, I did say your name, didn't I? You're so pretty. You're so pretty. And speaking of little like spatulas and cake knives and whatnot, these are another example of like putty knives or spatulas that you can get at the hardware store if you don't already have one in your garage, that are just nice to use to spread the paint. And it's nice because they have like different widths. Ours is really wide, and you can go down to really narrow. Just plastic, super cheap. So something else to consider that you don't need, but they are nice to have. Okay. Paper towels here. This roll is almost gone, but I think you need these, guys, because you just don't know if you're gonna have a mess. If you don't have an apron, whatever. It's just, I mean, it's like toilet paper. Why not have it? You need it. It's kind of obvious, at least for me. Okay, so that's that. On to cups and spoons. These are just silicone cups here, little 8-ounce silicone cups. I think they're more environmentally friendly. I'm not constantly throwing a bunch of plastic cups in the trash. However, you can wash out plastic cups and reuse those too. But these are also nice because they have like a little spout on them. And if I left my paint in here without rinsing, I can just peel the paint out and dump it in the trash or save it for skins to do other little crafts with. But I'm just trying to not be as wasteful. So if I can do my part in enjoying these wonderful projects like these and help minimize my trash, then I think I feel like I can go to sleep better at night. However, these cups are not very big. They're just 8-ounce cups. So obviously there's times I'm going to need larger plastic cups. And I'm also going to need larger popsicle sticks because, you know, I need, you know, the long popsicle stick to be able to, I still need some length to mix the paint with. Whereas these baby spoons, they're great for this little, you know, little cup size like this. Also, you know, reusable. And I got like a dozen of these at my grocery store for like under $2. Aria, you have been making so much noise just walking around. Can you go lay down? Can you lay down? Can you do that for me, pup? Please? Do you want goodies? Go lay down. Goodies? Go lay down. Go lay down. Yes, I'll get you a goodie in a minute. Oh my goodness, guys, you probably have conversation with your dogs too if you have some. We have a Rottweiler who I know I've mentioned that several times in previous videos, but my goodness, the princess that she is. Okay, so yeah, cups and spoons or popsicle sticks, yes, quite obvious you need those. The types that you need, personal preference, up to you. Okay, so there's that. Next here I have a little stainless steel straw. This was just actually from a stainless steel wine tumbler that was gifted to me that came with a straw, but I don't really drink wine, and I definitely don't drink wine through a straw. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just use this for my paint pours. It's reusable, it's durable, really good quality. And what's nice about this, do you need a straw? No, but what's really nice about it is it buys you an extra 6 or 8 inches in length so that you can, you know, reach over your project if need be without compromising, you know, dipping your whole chest in it like I have done before, you guys. I don't even want to talk about that nightmare because, yeah, oh, wow. So yeah, this little something like that can really help you minimize the risk of just, you know, putting yourself into your actual painting. Plus, it's also nice if you want to, you know, make little changes in your composition by just, you know, doing a little puff. I think I spat that. A little puff of air, you know, to make little tweaks and changes. This is something like this is really nice. But again, you don't need a stainless steel straw. You can use, you know, something that you got from a takeout place like Chick-fil-A, or you can just go buy a pack of straws at the grocery store. It doesn't matter, but I like that for those reasons. So something else for you to think about. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, we are running down to the last bit of it. So here are painting stands. These again are from Home Depot. Really durable. They hold a lot of weight. I've done some heavy canvases, so yes, these will withstand the weight. There's different types of stands. You don't need these necessarily. You can use plastic cups turned upside down. You can use push pins, but you do need something to put your working surface on. Otherwise, the paint is just going to go underneath and drip and pool around. It's just going to be a big old mess, and you know, you don't need that. So pick whatever you feel is going to work best for you as far as whatever you can to set your painting on. I'm actually getting, hopefully in the mail soon, I ordered some painting stands from a really well-known artist also on YouTube. Her channel is called Molly's Artistry, and she does a lot of food art as well, and she has these stands that are much larger. So she has them available on her Etsy store. I will put that in the description link as well. I don't have them now, so I can show you. But also she warned me because what I ended up purchasing was a knockoff. I don't know how the page got redirected to somebody else's page that was selling the same thing that's not the same thing as hers. But they look almost identical, so I don't know. I hope they're of the same quality, but again, I will provide that link so you can check them out yourself and make the decision if you want those or if you just want to go to Home Depot, you know, and get these or get them off Amazon, whatever's fitting for you. Okay, guys, down to the last piece. The blow dryer. So this is the main component that makes a Dutch pour, not just the paint consistency, but the movement of the air. How you manipulate the paint with the air is what makes a Dutch pour. At first, I thought the blow dryer was the culprit to making my painting just kind of look horrible, but I don't think it's the watts. I think it's this air condenser here. Some are a lot, I don't know if you can see here, this is kind of narrow, but it's wide. So some are, you know, short and narrow, some are fat, you know, it really depends on the shape of the mouth condenser that's really gonna, you know, make your painting in the the way that you are hoping, I guess. If I'm saying that right, I'm just trying to make sense. This is the piece that really matters, the attachment. I don't recommend doing a Dutch pour without the mouthpiece. Otherwise, I think you're just gonna blow your paint everywhere and you're just gonna have this really big mess with paint flinging everywhere. Do you need this? Oh my gosh, you guys, it really depends. If you're just doing like a little tiny 3x3 magnet canvas or something, or even like a 5x7, I don't think so. I think that would probably do more harm than good because it's so small. I think that's where your own breath would come in, or having a straw. So it really depends on what you're envisioning. If you don't really want to go bigger than little tiny canvases, then no, the blow dryer is probably not, you know, going to be for you. because yeah, you don't even need to blow the base coat out. You can just tilt the base coat and then pour things however you want it, in whatever fashion you want it, and just use a straw or your mouth, whatever. But for larger canvases, I really do recommend this because it's just going to manipulate the paint into the fashion and into I'm stuttering, into the design that you are trying to achieve. So yeah, this is just much more powerful than your own breath. And there's no point exerting yourself, getting an aneurysm, just blowing and huffing and puffing. It really is silly. So yeah, again, I don't think the blow dryer really matters. I have another one, it's like $14, and that one, even with its mouthpiece, I will say it's just not good. So even though I've had different experience with a different blow dryer, I'm still gonna say it's not like it hasn't moved my paint, but because I did it with the same consistency with different blow dryers. I don't think that's really it. I think it was the mouthpiece, and the mouthpiece doesn't fit on this one. So I'm kind of like, I was forced to get another blow dryer. I hope I didn't really confuse you more on that section right there, but that is what it is. Okay, guys, so yeah, I think the table now is officially been cleared. And so let's get ready to do that Dutch pour. Again, if I have not covered anything, or if I've confused you, which, oh, please, Lord, I hope I have not. I hope I've helped you. Then please ask away in the comments. I really want to be helpful. And if I don't already know, I will find out for you or provide a link or a source where it can lead you to that information. All right, guys. My goodness. Thank goodness he has been quiet. What a good boy, guys. I am blessed. I have a good little boy. All right, so let's get started on that Dutch pour. Hey, guys. Okay, so my son has had his nap. I had a little gym time in, and now I am ready to show you guys how to do a Dutch pour. But first, before we get into the actual process of it, I wanted to show you all my colors. I was kind of going for like a very land and sea type thing, and because you could see, obviously, I have like browns and blues. So here, I think this is a pretty obvious color. It's white. I did have to make a little bit more of this though, because I didn't have enough. The rest of everything is just simply leftover paint that I had from another pour. I just didn't want to, you know, waste. So what a perfect opportunity to show you how to do a Dutch pour by actually making another little painting and not wasting something. So anyway, so white, this is lake blue. This is khaki. This is copper. And I'm hoping you can see the light or the color really with the kind of lighting I have right now. This is cobalt blue. This is sea mist pearl. Super pretty. This is one of my favorite colors, actually. It's a nice metallic color. Yeah, and that's how much I have left. It's like barely anything in there. Okay, and then I have earth brown. Plain old brown, but you know, sometimes plain colors really do make, you know, nice touches. So yes, so this is my color palette, and most of these are craft paints. I do have a couple of student grade paints in here. Now, what I want to show you what the difference between the paints are. So like these would be or yeah, I'm trying to show you here. Good. So these would be some craft paint, some examples. Craft Smart, kind of obvious, Craft Smart. And some Deco Art Extreme Sheen. This is actually one of the colors that I used in the previous pour. So these would be examples of craft paints. These would be examples of student grade paints as far as brands. Liquitex has artist grade paints, but not the basics is considered more of student grade paints. And Arteza, whatever, tomato, this is just a really pretty iridescent paint. And then some of your artist grade paints would be from Golden and from Winsor and Newton. Now, the thing I want to say real quick about Golden here is you can tell, if I can hold it here. So this is very opaque. You can't see the little grid line behind it. So it's going to tell you this is very opaque, and this is like semi-transparent. So you'll be able to tell like you know, what kind of project you're gonna get, kind of outcome you're gonna get based on the opacity of your paints. Versus something like, you know, this obviously you can tell what kind of color it is. It's kind of difficult. I mean, I wouldn't say you're gonna know exactly because it's in a plastic tube. And this, yes, you're gonna know, but again, it's in a tube and paint looks different wet than dry. So your only hope is to hope and pray that it is the exact match that the label says, because sometimes it's a tidbit different. But anyways, okay, so those are going to be your differences between craft paints and artist grade paints. So you have your kind of like from one end in the middle and to the other end. The difference between craft paints is they're not as vibrant as artist grade paints. They have less pigments in there, and they don't blend as nicely together. So like if I'm gonna mix a yellow and a blue together, they're really just not gonna have that green effect that comes out of it. Just not as nice as the artist grade, but they still work and they still do the job. So I mean, unless you're a professional at eyeballing a professional grade paint versus student grade paint, then it's really not gonna matter. Besides the varnish, if you apply a varnish onto your project, it's gonna make those colors pop no matter if it's craft paint or an artist grade paint. So, okay. Then when you pour your additives in to the paint, like I had showed you everything on the table here, specifically the water, you just don't want to dump it in and then mix it, because if you just gush all your water into the paint, it's just going to break it down and it's just not, it's going to be horrible. So spare yourself from that awful mistake. Just pour tidbits of water in at a time. That's all you need. The pouring ratio that you would typically find to be the best or better way is about a 3-to-1. But you'll find your own. 3-to-1 may not really work for you, but it's worked for me, and it seems to be what's the most consistent ratio among other artists. But that means you're going to find 3 parts of pouring mediums. And it's a combination of things. So that could be water, GAC 800, and floetrol. And those combined would be 3 times the amount as the paint that you put in. Not 3 times of floetrol, 3 times water, 3 times the GAC 800. That would be a 9-to-1. So no, just a combination of 3, roughly 3, or however many additives you use. Even if it's water, then it would be about 3. But however, I do have to say, if you use water, just don't use more than like 50%. That's really that's almost really risky there. I think that would be your cutoff line before you just break your paint's pigments down too much. Okay, so I think, yeah, covered that. Now to the consistency. The most important factor here is going to be the consistency. So colors, brands and stuff, that doesn't, like, it's really not going to, be a deal breaker. It's the consistency here. So notice here, when I lift the stream of paint, there's almost like the stream of paint is almost curving a little bit, and it's very thin and consistent. It's not watery, but it is runny. And it doesn't, if you can see into the cup, maybe let's just do it closer. There's no mound. So the paint flowing off my spoon back into the cup, there is no mound onto the level of paint. It just disappears right into the paint. Now also, don't hold your spoon like way up here, because it's just gonna kind of divot into the paint here just by gravity. You don't want that. You should just very lightly kind of see if there's a mound above on your paint. And since there's no mound, that's the consistency that you're looking for. Okay, so I hope I answered all those questions there. So now let me just scoot these aside and go ahead and get my canvas out. Okay, so hang on one second. Okay, back again. If you guys hear some voices, my sweet husband is playing with my son. They're building Legos together and they're just having a hoot. So yeah, just an everyday, just a normal day at the house. But anyways, okay, so here's my canvas. It's a 12 by 12. And this canvas, I'm not sure if you can really tell in the light, it's not perfect. Kind of sags a little bit. And you can tell the quality, or you can tell if this canvas is sagging if you kind of tilt it down and just look down here. My husband actually taught me a really cool trick when he was buying wood. You know, you buy the long pieces of lumber. If you look at it straight down, you can see if it starts to warp like that. Well, same thing for a canvas here. And so since I'm just practicing on this canvas, I'm not really all too worried about it. But if you do notice your canvas sagging, you can YouTube rather, yeah, Google too. But you can research how to fix a saggy canvas, and there's tons of tips out there, really helpful tips. So again, just because your canvas doesn't look of high quality doesn't mean you should just chuck it. This one came in a pack, so I really had no opportunity to take it out of the pack and put it on the floor and level it out. It was just, you know, I got a smoking deal at Michael's for like a pack of 10. So anyway, okay, so now onto the pouring. And what I'm gonna do is just put my base coat down, which is some white. Just put my spoon down here. Whoop. Okay, that was some there. Now I'm just going to blow it out. And by the way, guys, this little container here was a genius idea by Olga Sobey with Smart Art Materials. My goodness gracious, girl, you are a lifesaver. I don't have an art studio. I have a small dining room nook and table that I'm working on. So this really does help contain any mess. But I will say the only con to it though, I mean, you're limited. There's only so many Tupperware sizes. So that said, you only have so many sizes of canvases to fit in here. Anything bigger, you're just really gonna have to find an appropriate working surface for larger canvases. Okay, so let me go ahead and blow this out. And this is just, you know, really nothing special. Low speed. Oh my. Okay guys, I don't know where that came from, but you know, like I said, you can always pick it out. Paint is fine, you know, it's okay. Not the end of the world, move along. Anyway, so I'm just covering, just putting on low speed just to cover the base or just to cover the canvas here. I don't know what's on my blow dryer because it is just coming off. All right, let me just add it. So I don't really have enough to cover the sides here. So I'm just going to do a little extra here, like so. Blow it out. So hopefully nothing else comes flinging off. Okay, so I am fully covered here, and you probably saw that last bit just fling. So again, what a great idea to contain a mess like that. All right, so, and I'm just gonna clean up the sides here, just make sure they're nice and evenly covered. Again, if you don't like, you know, my husband never liked finger painting growing up, so this would just give him the willies. So if this doesn't bother you, then, you know, go ahead and just use your fingers, or, you know, obviously you can use some gloves. I do see some bubbles, but I'm not really worried about that right now. So what I'm gonna do is just basically do a puddle pour. I'm just gonna put a few layers in the middle and then go from there. I guess I'm just gonna kind of do blue, brown, just to kind of see how it goes. You know, I'm not really thinking of anything special. I'm just trying to show you the procedure, or the process to do a Dutch pour. There's many different types of ways to do it. You know, puddle pour, lines, split, base. I mean, it's, you know, it's really endless. And that's the neat thing about it, because there's really no limits. You know, however creative you can be is awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour, you know, a little in the middle. Okay, some cobalt blue. I know I already said the colors, but I'm just kind of going in my head, or saying in my head. And see, it's kind of mixing with the white already. You see that little ring around necessarily a bad thing, but a little bit of khaki. Let's do lake blue. And I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, guys. This could be stupendous for all I know, or it could just be something that it needs to go into the circular file, i.e. the trash. But again, hopefully we'll see. And that's the nice thing about fluid art. It's the surprise element. You just don't know. Okay, I don't want too much brown, so I'm just gonna do a little bit. Yeah, a little bit, I don't want too much. And then I'm gonna do sea mist pearl. I probably really only have enough to do this little circle anyway. I'm gonna just use all of that. Yeah, why not? It's so pretty. It's not like I can use a half a teaspoon or save a half a teaspoon for anything else. So yeah, just use it. And I'm gonna finish it off with some copper. Just a little, just enough for contrast. And I think I'm gonna dump a little bit of white on it. Okay, now I'm just going to pour a ring around here because I want enough paint to be able to mix over this puddle here. Ooh, that might have been a little too much. So I hope it doesn't really go flinging. Okay, time to torch. Oh my gosh, you guys. My butane. Wow, what a horrible thing to happen in the middle of a tutorial. My torch dies. Okay, whatever. All right, sorry, can't demo that part, but you know, all right, let's go. So low speed, I'm just gonna pour the paint over the circle here, or just, excuse me, I'm going to blow the paint over the circle very gently. Okay guys, I could blow out more, but I kind of want to keep it minimal. I don't want it too busy. And I still have enough room here to use like my own mouth. So here I see a little bit of copper coming up. Doesn't this look kind of cool? I mean, it's very, darn, my torch. You know what guys, stand by. I'm just gonna go get a quick refill. Yay, it's working. Okay. Just quick passes, guys. We're not going willy-nilly. We're not trying to dry it off. Oh my gosh, okay. I need more butane, I guess. Let's see here. Whoops. I can smell that. There we go. Just a little bit here. Pop those bubbles. I am barely putting minimal butane in here, but okay, got the idea. So I'm gonna blow. Trying to get some of that copper to come through. Pretty. Let's see if I can go. Just trying to get some of these colors to come through on the edges here. I don't think that one's gonna do too much. Oh. This one, maybe here. No. And you just might have to kind of dig around, you know, take a minute or two and just blow around. But I don't think I want to blow too much anymore, guys. This looks kind of cool as it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. Oh, I didn't cover this little tidbit here. And so, just cover that. Just drizzle a little bit. And that should be all. Actually, it's kind of pooling in here. There, that's much better. It's a little softer. Okay. Okay, yeah, this little. All right. Totally serious now. I'm done blowing. Okay, it's good to go. Yeah, let me go ahead and fill up my torch again and then show you take you down for a close-up. Okay guys, here's that close-up. Really pretty. Look at those. It just looks like a blooming little flower almost. Let's see, like, look at the cells and the lacing in there. Super cool. And I'm glad I didn't use too much brown. I think it could have used a little bit more, honestly, but you know, whatever. I said this was just a little demo example for you. And here's a pan out. Really cool. All right, guys. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I definitely had fun. I like trying to explain things. Sometimes, you know, believe it or not, when you're explaining things, you end up kind of teaching yourself too, or reteaching yourself. See, this has actually got her changing. It's this center here is this, it's kind of sagging. And the composition is going to change a little bit, guys, by the time it is done drying, but it is what it is. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. Also, guys, anything that blew off in here, this little paint, residual paint, you know, you can, let's see if I can reach up here, and here's some like old skins. You can save those and make other crafts and things with them, or just sell them to somebody who makes jewelry or whatever out of it. It's up to you, or just trash it. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit like and subscribe for more videos. And obviously, please tell me your thoughts in comments, or in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you guys had a good day. I did. This, like I said, super fun. All right, see you next video. God bless.